With the stock market volatility and all the talks of recession, a lot of new grads and early career professionals are wondering, how can I stay up when all this stuff goes down? Hi, I'm Ashley. I built a career as a strategist for some of the top companies in the world, and now I'm building a new one as a management scholar. On this channel, I integrate insights from research, pop culture, and the Bible to help you bring your full self to work. Today, we're going to go over 5 tips to help you recession-proof your career. So if this is your first or your second recession, this is especially for you. The first tip is to keep learning. Now, I know this might be the last thing you want to hear as a new graduate, but it is so crucial because more and more organizations are transitioning to skills-based hiring. So it's not just enough that you have a fancy college degree. In fact, this is good for everyone because it focuses on the skills that people may have regardless of if they have a degree or not. So what skills are really important? Well, that generally depends on your industry, but I do know that there are 2 skills that are pretty critical no matter where you go. The first is data analysis. It's really important for us to be able to make sense of data around us because they are numerous, and it's a really big differentiating factor in the job market. So if you're looking for resources to help beef up your data analysis skills, look in the description below and I'll link some there for you. The second one is probably one of the most underrated, and I really don't see this anywhere in other kinds of content. It's storytelling. It's really important for you to be able to get those skills because it comes in handy in so many different situations. Storytelling helps persuade people, motivate people, get resources, and that's going to be really important in pretty much any kind of work situation that you find yourself in. There are 2 books I recommend for storytelling. First is Storyworthy. I really value this book because it teaches you how to extract and craft great stories from even the tiniest moments in life. And that's so important because there's so many stories around us, and we really need to be able to build that muscle to be able to identify and shape them in a way that creates a meaningful experience. The second book is called Made to Stick. This book provides an approachable yet scientific way to think about how to craft messages that actually stay with the audience. That's incredibly important now more than ever because distractions are everywhere, and being able to craft meaningful messages that stick can help you achieve your goals. The second tip to recession-proof your career is to build your network. Think of networks like in a garden. You need to be able to plant the seeds and water them before you can expect a harvest. So don't just wait until you need something, build some meaningful connections. If you do have LinkedIn, reach out to people, pay attention to what they're posting, and engage in the comments. It's a great way to be able to keep a conversation or a connection going in a way that is authentic. The third tip is to keep an open mind. There are some industries that are more vulnerable to recession than others, but that doesn't mean you can't find the perfect role to use your strengths. Look for how you can use your strengths in other industries and use those storytelling skills that I just encourage you to develop to be able to paint that picture of how you can create value in a different kind of industry. If you already have a job and find that business demands are requiring you to shift your job responsibilities, use a technique called job crafting, which helps you find meaning in work or shape the work that helps you still work towards your purpose. If you haven't seen that video that I made on job crafting, click up here for the video that goes in more detail. If there's any consolation, there can be a silver lining to this too. Research suggests that people who start their careers in an economic downturn actually have higher job satisfaction in the future. So this is only a season and things will get better. Which leads me to my next tip. Remember, it's all going according to plan. It's so easy to get wrapped up in the anxiety that uncertainty causes, but I want to remind you what God says through Jeremiah. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Even if it looks like things aren't going to get better soon enough, I want to encourage you to not lean on your own understanding or what you see. And remember that all things, not some things, all things work together for good for those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. I have to say that ever since the COVID-19 pandemic started, I have found immense comfort in the fact that nothing can get in the way of God's plan. So whatever comes your way, it's all going according to plan. The next recession-proof tip is to manage your finances. Now, in general, it's always better to make sure that your expenses don't exceed your means, but this is especially important in times of higher uncertainty. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, it can take from 2 to 6 months to find a new job after unemployment, so you want to make sure that you have that much of living expenses saved up. This is important not only to make sure that you're comfortable during this time of transition, but it also gives you the freedom to be discerning about your next opportunity, and you won't feel that pressure of just taking anything because you don't have enough money to take care of yourself. I know this one from experience. Debt and financial obligations have a way of creating these constraints that make you make decisions that you might not make if money were no object. So while things are good, make sure that you're keeping a budget or at least a structure of how you're managing your funds so that you can have more freedom when things get tough. And make sure that you're budgeting to pay back your student loans. And now is a good time for the bonus tip. Always make sure that resume is tight. This video is going to give you the proven format that's going to help you get that next job.